How you doing, Kings? Well, finally reached the 30-day mark on the press. The press that I did 30 days ago, I started, was a straight American and Canadian Virginias in one. And the bottom, as you can see, bowed right out and rounded out. But I think that press is going to turn out pretty good. And then the press of the straight Burley. Tomorrow I'll take out the other press of Houdat's Pipeworks Bose blend. Will be tomorrow for the full 30 days on that. I've been really busy here for the past couple of weeks, and I wanted to give a special mention to some of the guys in the YTPC that actually took the time to email me or message me and see how I was doing, see how things are going, especially with the storm cleanup and all that stuff, power outages, and it's getting to the point now where tornadoes are very common, which never really was a very common occurrence here, but it's starting to become that way, it seems. Those people, and there's quite a few of them, Carolina Kirk, Porch Piper Tom, Doc, Cancer Cow. I mean, there was quite a few of yous out there that took the time out to message me, and I appreciate you. Much love and respect to you, Kings. Yeah. But with that being said, I'm excited to finally get into these plugs and see how they turn out. It's been a long 30 days, and every once in a while, every so often, like every other day or once every 3 days, I came out and I gave them a little tightness to compress it even more. We'll start with the Burley one first. So that's the Burley. I'll do that. I'll undo the bottom. You can see the parchment paper. I was going to say wax paper, but it isn't wax paper. It's parchment paper. And this is the Burley that I took the stems out, broke the first shredder on, had to wait for the second shredder to come in, and shredded that out, and finally was able to get the rest of it shredded. But as you can see, very little waste on the bottom, which that'll be all cleaned and scrubbed out and ready for the next press evolution. Yeah, so that comes out like so, and you can see that the cylinder in the bottom is relatively clean, but I still hand wash them and dry them, make sure that they're good and dry. This was fairly a thick puck, if I can remember correctly. I believe each puck was a 2-ounce squeeze, and there is there's the puck of the shredded straight Burley. There's no casings in here. There's no additives, no nothing. This is just straight Burley. And as per the usual, I'll go ahead and grab my trusted tobacco head knife, which is this one. And I'm going to attempt to cut it in half so you can see what that looks like. That cut pretty easy, but there is the cut Burley. I almost wish I had one of those commercial kitchen, meat slicers that they use at the old deli departments and stuff. And be able to cut some really, really, really nice Burley slices that way, I think. But man, that turned out really, really good. I'm going to set this aside, and that'll be put into a jar, and then cut like a normal plug would be for your pipe. I'll grab another fresh, clean piece of paper here. And now we have the Virginias. Actually, before I forget, let me take the tape off of this. That's why I love the painter's tape on these, because they don't stick and leave a nasty residue on there, and you can always label your presses. I got three of them going at any given time, so it helps when I write it down. You can see the bottom here. I put the parchment paper there, and then on the bottom of it, you can probably see it. It's just a plastic bag stiffener that I actually use for leather work to stiffen the leather up. It's a really thick piece of plastic, like the thickness of a credit card, and just cut it into a circle. It does just fine. It still bows out some on the bottom, but that's to be expected, right? So now we do the Virginias. And then the bottom is going to appear the same on the Virginias. I have the small plastic piece on the bottom. You can see that. It's not too bad. There's the Virginias. Now, here's the funny thing with the Virginias is, it's not really funny, but it's the same thing as the Burley. Nothing added to it. I just stemmed it, crushed it up, or shredded it up, and stuck it in the press. And with the paper inside and on the bottom and on the top, how I showed you in the last video of actually making the tobacco fit inside here and prep it for the press to be pressed. That paper really helps, especially with the cleanup end aspect of things, so it's really not that bad either. So I'm going to set these over here. I'll unwrap this. Again, if my memory serves me correctly, I do believe that this too was a 2-ounce uh, American and Canadian Virginia. The smell is absolutely amazing, unbelievable. The Burley's was the same way, fantastic smelling. For Virginia or Burley lovers, I mean, you can't really go wrong when you press them like this, and you got something nice for yourself and to put in your pipe, or depending on how much you press of it, you can share and give away and gift to a pipe club or pipe group or whatever. This one particular plug, I'm having a little difficulties with the paper because the moisture content on this was just about perfect to shred. It wasn't too wet and it wasn't too dry, but when you press it, obviously it's going to create heat and moisture some, so it's a little bit more stickier, so to speak. But yeah, this is the American and the Canadian slough cured Virginias combined into one puck of Virginias. And there is your Virginia plug. I mean, it turned out really, really good. You see that bottom there? Again, this is from the Virginias that I harvested and stemmed out. And shredded and pressed myself. I'm going to go ahead and use my same trusted head knife. I'm going to see how this cuts and how it looks. I really wish that I had had that deli slicer machine to make perfect Virginia cut strips, you know. I think to make like flake strips. But here is what the Virginias look like. They pressed absolutely beautifully. I think that a nice deli slicer would definitely make some really, really, really nice cuts, nice strips of all of it, believe it or not. Any tobacco that you press like that would turn out really, really good. But there it is. I'm excited to try those and put those into a pipe. But it worked out really, really well. And you can see on the paper, very, very little crumbling. But that's just about perfect. Perfect pressed, 30 days. And the smell is absolutely beautiful. I just wanted to set this aside. I just wanted that to share that with you, Kings. I figured there's going to be some of you that are just as excited as I was to actually see how those individual plugs would turn out. Also, what I'm thinking of doing is tomorrow I'll do the video of the Bose blend from Who Dat Pipes Works to show you how that turned out, because tomorrow will be the 30th day of that press. And then I've got more tobaccos coming, obviously. I've always got tobaccos coming. This last shred session, the Dark Fired Kentucky, man oh man, I mean, it turned out absolutely beautiful, and that was shredded. I don't know if you could see that or not really good. But the smell of it is really, really good. Look at that. It's absolutely perfect. I put quite a bit of the dark fired Burley and stuff like that into my roll your own cigarette blend. I've got other different tobaccos that are coming, and I still have to figure out a good way to not screw up another shredder, but at least try to figure out a way to cut up and store my St. James Perique. I mean, that stuff looks really thick, gummy, chewy kind of, leaf. The dark fire within itself, that was pretty difficult anyway, because those leaves are a lot thicker and stuff like that versus your Virginias are. But I got to find a way to get the Perique all cut and stored. So other than stick it in the mason jars, my primary focus is now going to be try to figure out how to cut that up so it can work really good for a pipe blend. Also with that video, I wanted to do not only show you the Who Dat Pipeworks blend in my mason jars, the half gallons that I put all the tobaccos that I've stemmed and shredded and all that stuff and have stored away. I think it'd be really cool to show you guys what each one looks like side by side by side. So to show you like what the difference of texture or color looks like from, say for example, like your Izmir Turkish blend to your let's say bright leaf Virginia, or the different tobacco leaves. They look different in color and appearance and texture, even when they're both stemmed and shredded by me by my own hand from the same machine. They just look different. Their characteristics are a little bit different, so I think that'd be really cool for somebody to see that never got the opportunity to see what the Orientals like the Izmir or the Samson or the different Virginias or the Burleys or the dark fired or whatever, never got a chance to see what they look like side by side, that you can see and compare what that tobacco looks like in comparison to other blends, or to other, I'm sorry, not other blends, but to other tobacco leaves. And then I want to do a little bit more research on doing some possible kick-ass pipe blends for myself to see on how good they turn out. If they turn out half as good as some of my cigarette blends that I've come up with already, then I'm going to be more than happy. Because the cigarette blends that I'm working with now, I'm pretty heavily leaning towards that Burley, and believe it or not, the dark fired Kentucky in a cigarette. Yes, I put that in there too. It's a fantastic smoke for a cigarette. Even in the pipe, I've tried it in the cigarette blends. I've tried it in my trusty little hardwood bodega mushrooms, and they're fantastic. They're fine. So I think that'd be cool to show you kings at some time. But I just wanted to let you guys know that I appreciate those that have contacted me to see how I was doing. We're still still here. We're doing fine. We're safe. Very minimal damage as far as like the fencing, stuff like that. But the trees, I've got all that wood all bucked up and stacked up and, you know, ready for the fire pit for a nighttime burn or whatever. But it's like Tom says, it's been a full tilt boogie here too. And that's with everything else outside of the storms. That's drywall and landscaping, small engine repair and taxi service and counselor and you name it. I've done an awful lot within the past couple weeks. So, but I'm still here, and I'm thinking of all you kings, and hopefully you got some type of enjoyment out of the video, and we'll talk again soon. Until then, have a good one, kings. We'll talk again soon.